Another cloudy, dreary, snowy Monday. Ugh. But even on a dreary Monday, there's always something exciting that can happen in your day. I actually just got these in the mail. Let me see if I can get them to focus. There you go. It's a Mexican sunflower. So my dad grew them last year, and his buddy Daryl actually grew them as well. I think that's where Dad got the seeds from. I fell in love with them. They're like a big bush. It almost looks like a rose bush, but pretty beautiful orange sunflowers. I'll throw a picture up so you can see what I'm talking about since this didn't have one. Absolutely gorgeous. I couldn't really find them anywhere. Dad talked to Daryl and they're like, yeah, we'll send you some. So I just got them in the mail. Super pumped to grow those this year. So I was able to get more of the beds filled up with the soil, but of course the storms and everything are just destroying that tarp that I got laid down. So it's not really jumping the gun what we're doing. We're just trying to get our garden set up and ready since it's from brand spanking new. But it is a little early. So what I mean by that is it's constantly raining and the yard's like destroyed. And so like I don't want to drive the tractor very much to destroy the yard. And like getting rock delivered is kind of hard because it's muddy and wet and hardly any time to be able to get out there and get that work done. So it looks like this is moving slow. It's really not. It's just the weather. And we're ahead of schedule because when you actually think about when it's time to get stuff planted, we have some time. But it is a bummer that it's not done yet. It's lunchtime around these parts. Well, the camera's just super duper shaking. So you want to tell them, baby, what we kind of discuss for the dinner time and everything?
With the kids?
Yeah.
Well, Yumble didn't really work out.
Yeah.
Raylan was a fan of most, not of all. Wyatt was mainly a hater, which we expected.
Yep.
But we tried it, and it was worth giving it a shot. So, we have two very picky eaters. Hopefully you can hear me. We have two very picky eaters, and it has 100% been created by us. We were well aware of that. But it is what it is. We were young parents and probably didn't read as many books as we should have. So here we are.
I don't think it's books. It's we were both raised one way, totally different ways.
Yes.
And that didn't really impact our parenting. It just made our thoughts different.
Well, yes, and also those influences, both of those sides were a very big part of our lives when
Very
we
much.
all lived together. So it was hard to set boundaries, set rules, set expectations, that kind of thing. We got a handle on it when we were in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Then we moved back to Kentucky and completely lost control again.
Yeah,
But now we are gaining control again.
that's right.
Because that's really all it is. It's a control issue, and thankfully for us, we are the parents, so we don't have to feed into that control issue.
Right.
There's better ways to go about it. So, I knew what I knew before, now I know more. We both know more, we're gonna do better. And breakfast and lunch are easy. The kids, even though they're picky, they do eat very healthy.
Their picky stuff is healthy stuff.
It really is.
Honestly.
So we couldn't ask for, a better thing for that. Breakfast and lunch are easy. We can make them separate breakfasts and lunches because it's easy. And we pretty much fend for ourselves anyway.
Yeah, so like breakfast for them, they usually eat like a slice of her homemade bread, which is fantastic. They love that. They love almost anything you make homemade for the most part. And then like Wyatt will eat they usually both eat an apple, or we'll switch out grapes or something like that.
Grains, fruit, and dairy is usually breakfast, which is good. Lunch is usually some sort of grains, some sort of vegetable, protein. We try to add a fruit in, and they drink water after breakfast for the rest of the day.
We're huge water people.
Yeah.
Like that's all we drink.
They don't drink juice or anything like that. So yeah, even though we say that like it's been a hard journey, it really hasn't, because we're very lucky that they eat what they eat.
The biggest thing is dinner. All right, so like for lunch, like Wyatt is having a peanut butter sandwich, his favorite pickles, and a pepper. And Ray is having a pickle. She likes the dill pickles. He likes the fiery pickles. She's having a couple slices of ham, the homemade bread, and then she's getting a treat of gummies. So is it a perfect lunch? Probably not to some people. But it's a pretty good lunch. I mean, our kids, they do really well when it comes to those kind of things. Wyatt's getting his protein and that peanut butter. Loves peppers. Absolutely loves them. And then the pickles. I mean, that's okay to have as a little snack included with your lunch.
Yeah.
But dinner. So dinner has always been our biggest issue because they don't they like good things, but they're not expanded in their palate on what they'll eat. So we actually are doing something that it really just happened like on a whim, but when we were on vacation. We're going to keep this short, I promise. We went to Paula Deen's, right? Yeah, so Paula Deen's is like, you get a bunch of stuff, and it's like family
style.
Yeah, family style. So we played a game there to where it was, you get one bite of everything. Like, you're going to eat one bite of everything. Because we know you haven't had this, and you might like something.
Yeah.
So basically what that is, it wasn't overwhelming in their mind, and it was fun too. So like, if it's just one bite I have to choke down, then they're more willing to do so. Rather than if you get them like a huge pile of, cabbage and they're like, eat it all.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
So we're basically taking that from vacation and applying it to home. So, like we said, breakfast and lunch is what we feed them, what they like. Dinner, we will give them objects that we know that they like. That'll be the bulk of it. But they will also at least take one bite of everything that we cooked and that we're eating. And it keeps it calm. You don't have to fight over the control of eat it all or you get nothing.
Yeah.
They still get to eat food that they like, and they get to try new stuff. And our new rule is, if you eat everything on your plate, which is including those one bites of what we're having, then you get a treat. You get a snack, not a dessert.
A treat.
It's not a reward. It's, if you eat all your food, you get to pick your snack before bed.
Right.
Because we do designated snack times. It's not a free-for-all.
You get a window.
Yeah. And if you don't eat what's on your plate and you choose to not try the new foods, then your snacks will be chosen by us, which was apples, carrots.
We have like the healthy snacks and then the like popcorn, like if they want popcorn. So we're not talking like brownies and stuff like that.
No.
So yeah, that's what it is. Like, you don't eat it all. You go healthy snack round, or if you do eat it all, you can choose whatever you want. It can still be a healthy snack. Obviously, we're not saying you didn't do that. But yeah, I mean, that's our role. And so like, we don't get angry. It's their choice. Like, they have full control on what the rest of the night factors in.
Yeah.
And it keeps, like she said, everything calm. And so far, it's working out really well.
Yeah. In no way is this us asking for suggestions or parenting advice or tips. We've got a pretty great handle, and I think we're pretty good parents. It's just something that we've struggled with, and we know that there are people just like us, so we want to offer support for you if you're going through the same thing. But yeah, we're getting it.
Yeah, it's trial and error. You'll figure out that smooth area that works.
Yeah.
And so far, this is a plan that's working for us. And if you haven't tried it, you're more than welcome to yourself.
Yeah.
Are you cranky, Mama? What are they doing? Y'all gonna kiss? Apparently everybody thinks it's dinner time.
Yeah.
Look at them all. Look at Mama. Dolly said back away. I'm just gonna ignore it. Ignore it like it's not happening.
Dolly.
What do you think, Dolly?
Be nice.
I'm gonna go do chores now.
Okay. Stay warm.
She gets a bye today because it's like crazy cold. So I'm gonna go do the baby check-in and allow her to stay in the warmth with the kiddos.
All the moms. They're good.
Okay. I'm not made for winter. Like, by the time February hits, which I'm filming this on February 1st, I'm over it. Super over it. Kind of get tempted sometimes, like, man, I could do Florida. Some of y'all down there in like the zone 8s and 9s, I'm like, man, that'd be awfully nice right now. But then I'm also not a huge humidity guy either, so I think I'll just take my cold winters and enjoy our nice normal 4 seasons instead of y'all's hotness. Y'all hungry? Everybody hungry? What's up, mamas? We still prego? It appears that way. Okay, let's go, animals. Let's go. Mama, you back there? Oh, I think I just named everybody Mama. Everybody, well, they're all mamas, I guess. So this is what it is. I like my mamas. Come on, Elsa. The protector mama. Let's go. Don't make me fall. What's that big girl, Anna? All right, it is nice and muddy. Loads of fun. Gotta sit you all down. Anna, get out of it. You are crazy. Hi, Mama. You the OG Mama. So update on the mamas. Nobody's giving birth yet. So we got Elsa, if you're new, Butters, and here's Anna. Not mistaken for Buster over here, their brother and sister. But man, you are getting, that is tight. Tell you what, ladies, it is very much seeming like this week. Butters is as tight as it was when I milked her. Like after she was completely full. That's how tight she is. Anna's almost there to that tightness, and Elsa still has a ways to go. I checked the ligaments. Basically, for the most part, Anna and Butters is completely gone, and Elsa still has a little room to grow. But as y'all can see, she's starting to sink. You can see her bones, her hip bones real well, because her belly's starting to pull down. That's another indicator. Butters still seems a little high. I mean, she's starting to get there, but she's definitely not as sunken down as Anna is. But I don't know, we're 7 days from due date, so really, at least we're in the safe zone now. So that was our biggest fear. We did not want any previews to come out. So we're clear there. Even if they came today, it would still be within the right time zone to where it wouldn't be any kind of scares or issues. But man, it's getting close. All their nice areas are still nice and dry. Thank goodness. This barn does awesome at just keeping everything dry. Our main area where they track through is muddy in the entrance, which I know. I just need to get more hay and lay that out, and there's gravel and all kinds of stuff that I can do. But they're not tracking it into their pen areas, which makes me really happy. I'm actually gonna go get some more straw to try to fill this thing up even more, but that is nice and clean. For the past like 3 winters here in Kentucky, it's been pretty mild, like over the top mild once we've hit like February into March. So that's why we didn't have any fear of having our goats give birth in February. Well, of course, this year, just because when you plan for something, this coming Sunday, like our high is going to be like 15, maybe a little higher, maybe like 20 something. But the low is going to be in single digits, which is not abnormal, but a little abnormal for this time of year. It's really just touch and go in central, well, we're in southeastern Kentucky, but it's just touch and go. You never know what you're going to get in winter when it hits February. It's either going to be cold or not, and somewhere in between. Well, anyways, that gives a little bit of concern just because it's going to be so cold. So if they did decide to have them, say, Sunday when it really drops, that's going to be a little bit rough. So for precaution, I'm going to be going to get a bunch of extension cords because we don't have power in here. And yes, I know I can do solar, but I need a quick fix. So I'm going to go get some extension cords and probably get a couple heat lamps that we don't use anymore because we don't really like them. But just in the case that they decide to have the babies on one of them extremely cold nights, we're going to have them up here and ready to turn on just to be safe. Y'all see that tarp covered item? That's a surprise I'll tell you about in another video. But for now, send me your guesses on what you think that is. So I'll give you a hint. It's farm related. Look at all those beautiful seedlings. Oh, they look great. So a lot of people have asked about the greenhouse and how it holds up in the bad weather. Well, first off, this one itself, we haven't had long enough to tell you much about it. But our one we had at the old place, with the tornadic size wind gust, and really did really well. We never had any issues. And a lot of people have asked about snow. Well, the one thing about the cattle panels is they're so tight, you don't have big gaps or waves within the plastic. And then if you do have any issues, hopefully y'all can see this, you just tap it and it's gone, that easy. So, I mean, it's really nice to just have it slide on down. And like I said, where we don't have major gaps in between the plastic, these cattle panels hold really well against the snow. So I can't speak for the far up north folks and you know, the massive amounts of inches that you all get. But I would say two things. One, it's gonna be better than a regular hoop house. And two, if you're noticing that you're getting a bunch of snow, get out there every hour or so. Tap it loose just like that and it'll just slide right off. I don't know, your call, but I mean, I think it's gonna be fine if you did have a bunch of snow and being able to get all that off there. Okay, don't tell Jim, but I'm trying something. We have a lot of greens that are going on and a lot of different cool crops. So I am actually, because these are starting to get to where we either need to up pot them or we need to get them into the permanent spot. Well, where most of all of this is gonna be grown in this greenhouse, I'm gonna take a chance. Now, you heard me talk about how we're going to drop really cold down the road here, so I'm not overly hopeful, but I want to try and just see. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take one of these mustards out because they are just so full. They need to be thinned out up in here. And I'm just going to put one in the green stock and see how it does this week. And then that'll kind of give me the decision on if I can go ahead and start moving the rest of the stuff next week after we get out of this cold blast that we're about to face. So for the Hoss tool trays, it's really easy to get them out of here. Let me show you. So y'all heard me brag about how easy it is. Underneath, there's a nice little water hose. Snow falling off, freaked me out. And you just put it in there. Oop. And it slides right out, just like that. You just put your little pin in there. You can see it sticking out. You just give it a little tap and it pushes right out and you got it out. No struggling, no trying to break the plastic or anything like that to get your seed out. It just comes right out of there. Super simple. All right, and so in our green stock, we're going to be planting all kinds of things in here because you just can. There's so much. Well, what we're primarily going to be doing, also, this is called thinning, so I got two in here. I'm just being very gentle, knocking the dirt away, trying not to disturb the roots a whole lot. And then you grab them at the base so you don't break any of the main roots. And you just kind of gradually pull them until they naturally release from one another. Just like that. And then you get your two seedlings separated. So back to what I was saying. These are a little small. I would request going a little bit bigger. But like I said, I don't want to up pot because it's kind of pointless in this situation. And they're fine to get in there. The main thing is they got some true leaves going, and I just want to get it into the spot, and I'll show y'all what I'm doing over here. Get you a little closer. It's just kind of hard to plant and go. But anyways, what are we planting in the green stock? So in the green stock will be things that we basically won't be taking to full head. So what I mean by that is, like, we're not going to be putting cauliflower in here. We're not going to be putting cabbage in here. We'll be doing anything that we're going to be, you know, the cut and come plants, like all of our greens that we're going to be cutting as they get big enough, eating them, juicing them, whatever it may be, and then just keep coming back. Those are great to have in here. We'll be planting radishes. We like radishes a lot in our green stock. So basically stuff like that isn't over the top huge as a plant before harvest is what we're going to put in here. So I've got me two mustards that are now in the green stock. And you can see right there, I kind of put them right in the middle, you know, a little bit maybe close to the front, definitely pointed to the front, because you want them to grow out this way. You don't want them to grow up and under. But they shouldn't be too bad. You just kind of train them to grow out. And you know what, y'all, we'll see what happens. They needed to be thin anyway, so it's just two. I've got a bunch, and now they have a chance to grow, and I'm really excited for them. So we'll see. So that dinner was delicious.
It was so good.
Jen said, "I am dying for fazoli's. Like,
I miss fazoli's so much."
Which is just a guilty treat we do sometimes. Hey, y'all been to Fazoli's, you know.
Well, we can't now because we don't have one. So we haven't had it in like 4 or 5 months.
So Jen says, "Can you make it homemade?" So maybe, and I did.
You did.
So basically, I made a homemade Alfredo sauce, bow tie pasta, bag of peas, and I did bacon and kielbasa, and I cut it real thin, cooked everything separate. The Alfredo sauce, just real fast, it's a cup of milk, cup of whipping cream or heavy cream, 3 tablespoons of butter, pepper, and parsley. Is it win, Jen?
Garlic. Isn't it good?
And a clove of garlic. You do the clove of garlic and butter, get the garlic fragrant, put everything else in the pot on medium heat, and just kind of keep stirring and adding cheese to it. Oh, Parmesan.
Yeah.
And adding cheese to it until it gets the thickness that you want. And
That was
then
amazing.
throw it all in a big pot and eat her up.
Yeah, it's not often I ask him to cook, but I did tonight, and I was so happy that I did.
Yeah, so it worked out well. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. Still no babies. Coming soon, though.
Yep.
It will definitely be this week. That's our goal. I did tell them we was going to run some electric up there just in case they decide they will.
Yeah.
They're 100% going to have it on the night that we go like 9 degrees.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. So we're going to be prepared for that and be ready for it. Fingers crossed on the mustard plants that I planted. I told her.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, y'all. Well, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe down below.
We love you.
Until the next one.
Bye.
Bye.